Hi everyone, Emma here. My desk is a mess, but you know what? I think I need to do a bracelet and show it to you. I've been making bracelets like crazy, and I know people are asking, where are you? Um, yeah, so I have been working on stuff, but I didn't know. I would come up with a design, and then like some of them I put aside to do a full video, but they take an actual like full hour to do. But some of the other ones are quicker, and but there's like something in that design that's not quite working. So like finally I thought, you know what? I just finished this one here. We're gonna make this one again. I'm gonna make some changes because this was a trial one, and as I worked it out, there was problems with it. So let's just quickly talk about the problems, and then we'll go ahead and start. One of the things I wanted to do was actually do a two-strand bracelet, and the second strand being the chain. So that was fine, but the original clasp that I used, you're going to laugh when you hear this crap. So the original clasp is these lovely. So there's something about memory wire. This is on memory wire. There's something about memory wire that I feel like would go really well with a magnetic clasp. It's like you don't have to mess with it. It just like snaps it's together kind of thing, right? But as soon as you add any metal components like fine chain like this, and let's bring this up, this fine chain, the magnet, everything sticks, so that the chain sticks to the let me tilt my camera, sticks to the magnet, and it's annoying. So anyway, I just took this off. So I did all this work with this magnet on, and it's been driving me nuts. I'm just telling you. This was the second one I put on. So here's the other thing about these. When you buy these magnetic clasps, you might want to test them out, because I went and I attached this one, and the magnet wasn't attached. So I was really smart. I took a marker and I marked the magnet, the side that needed to be showing up, and I went ahead and it was in here, right? So I put some crazy glue, and then I put my magnet down, and for whatever reason it must have flipped or something, or I marked the wrong side, because you'll be able to see it won't attach the proper way. So I thought, okay, no problem. I'm sure the others are not attached. So I get out the others, and every single one of them is actually glued in and attached properly. So it must have been one that was missed. So then in the meantime, I tried to get it out with my bead reamer. Oh, I just realized, look what I did to my bead reamer. You know what? It feels like it's one of these days where crap is just... So I bent my bead reamer. Not a big deal. I don't use that point that much. So anyway, this turned out really pretty. I love it. It's really amazing. It looks amazing on. So I did go ahead and change the clasp. And so let's go ahead and take a look at what I have and see if we can recreate this a little quicker. So here was the other thing. This, I think, Diane Hoskins sent me, and I can't remember if it was in the package like this, but this stuff, when it gets bent, is kind of hard to bend back. But I just watch Neelay, and thank you everybody from my last video of doing stuff like this that told me what his name was. For some reason, in the audio of the video that I was watching, I could not understand what he was saying when he introduced himself. And maybe I do the same thing. I say my name really quickly. So anyway, he did suggest you use a knitting needle to get things opened up. So we will do that. So I'm just rolling it on my fingers like that. So it kind of, and then you can move it around. So that's pretty good. So we'll have to do that when we get to spots like this. So let's just put that aside. Let's get rid of that. I might hang on to that in case I use it. So this stuff here has a blue sparkle on it. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's little sparkles. Yeah, that bright spot, that's blue. And it's all along here. It's just really, really beautiful. And then I added these green opal crystals. They're just basic Chinese crystals. And yeah, turned out good. So let's so we're gonna skip this chain. I think what we're gonna do is, although this looks really pretty and dainty, I think I'm gonna do a thicker chain. So let's start with that. Let's get our chain. And we don't need these. I had thought about doing these bead caps, but we'll save that for a different project. So let's take a look at what clasp we want. So you can do a 1 or a 2 hole clasp. Seeing that we're going to put chain, you could put it on the second hole. That might be a good idea actually. But you know what? I think we will. I was going to do this one, but I only have 4 left of these guys. And they're kind of my favorites. Here's a nice one. So yeah, let's do that one. Okay, now my box of chain. I feel like I need to do some organization, and part of that is like things like this. All my chain is in here, so it fits right now. So this was the one I was thinking of adding. It's going to be really chunky, but I might pull these out in case I need some little pieces extra. So, okay, so let me put this one back down here. So I apologize. This is not like the way, it's not the way to do beading. And why is there like holes in my bead mat? Did somebody eat my bead mat? They're all agin me. If you're not with me, you're agin me. Okay, so we're gonna do that. We need memory wire. Let's start with that. We'll use these crystals again. They're really nice, and you know what? They're a little teeny tinier than the that mesh. So let me grab my caliper to give you a clue. But it'll just depend on your mesh. So that is a 4 millimeter. Okay. And again, initially I was going to use these guys, but when I started, you know, doing it, I realized I could, well, first of all, when you get to this end here, you want to twist and roll your mesh, and I wanted to hide it in something, which you can hide it in this, but then I would, I don't know, this looked a little plain. This will look really nice with leather, but I felt it was just slightly plain for my liking. So, and we're going to use, I used silver, because I was thinking silver for this, but then once I started using the gold components, I was like, no, this is going to be good. So, what do we have here? Let's get these beads out too. So they are right in front of me. So these are my closed jump rings. So I have these big ones. This is what I used to connect the chain to the bracelet. I think we should do the same again. And I'm just looking at the distance. I'll tell you why, because you want to make sure that there's room on your jump ring, your closed jump ring so actually that would probably work. So let's do that. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do is, instead of these jump rings, I wanted to use these guys, but I had already put it together this way. So actually we could do that on this. It would, I don't know. We'll test it. So let's get some of each. I just find these look really, they look like real gold. So let's grab a bunch of the basic ones. That's the wrong size. We'll keep this handy in case we need it. That. And that's it. So we just need one coil, and I usually, you know, put some on each end so that I have room to cut if I need to. It's like stuck together. Okay. So we'll go to about here. I'm going to put a lot extra in. We're going to use our cutters. So that's it, like that. That looks rusted, eh? But it's not going to matter. It's going to be underneath. I think there was one of these that I got from AliExpress that was rusted, and I got my money back for it. But you get to keep whatever it is. So let's put that there, and we've got our coil. So one of the things that Neely was doing is, let's see if I can move this around here, was he used these earring stoppers. So let me find my little bits. I cut the nibs off. So these ones have like a ridge. So I cut this ridge off, and I just cut it with my clippers or my scissors. Just because I felt like it kept like rubbing as I was getting the beads through. So what you need to do is you start out by adding one of those nibs, and I use the pointy end to the outside of my wire, because when you go to get that on there, so when you go to thread this through your mesh, it's narrower. So now I'm going to push it up here, but when we get going, we're going to pull it back so that no wire's exposed. Let's just put that there, and we'll just start adding. Now I added 20 on each side and then 5 gold beads in the middle. So that should be pretty straightforward. Let me grab these guys in the corner here. So there's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the weather here has been really nice. It's funny, we're right on the ocean in the, let me put these aside. There's there so I can talk and not have to count. We're right by the ocean, so if the wind's coming off the ocean, and I've said this before, it gets really cold. So yesterday we went out around dinner time, and it was really cold. And then once we got away from the shore, it went to 29 degrees Celsius. I could not believe. I thought I was going to vomit. It was so hot. Okay, so now we need 4 beads. And the beads I grabbed, I had to make sure that they're similar size. Now you don't actually, you know what we could do is we could intersperse these golds. So maybe do 3, 3 and 2 throughout. Let's try that. So that's these guys here. Let's put a bunch out. And these were beads that I ordered on AliExpress, and I was trying to build up my stash of gold beads. And man, these ones are amazing. It's funny how you tend to gravitate towards one in particular. So we'll have to take this off now. So let's Let's do on the edge. No, you know what? Let's do 3. 3 and 2 all the way through. So, there's one. I think there's 2 sets of beads in here. Some of them have black on the inside. So 3. So, but we still managed to get out on the bikes, and I'm doing fine after my surgery. It's like I almost forget to the point where I go to scratch because it's itchy, not realizing that that's what's itchy. I'm just, when you have an itch, you go to scratch it. And I'm like, oh, don't be scratching the incision. That's not good. So yeah, so I'm super stoked. But there. And we'll just do this all the way around. So we don't have to pay attention to how many. We'll take a look at the end, and once it meets both sides where it creates to the middle, then we can call it done and start weaving the mesh on. So I've been getting caught up in the Nile videos. I'm really amazed at the stuff that he comes up with. I'm kind of stunned that I didn't know about mesh. And when I go to AliExpress, I'm shocked at the amount of sellers selling it. We need gold. So now it's different quality. The stuff that he's selling is pretty awesome. Really, really gorgeous. And then the findings, like the caps for the end of the mesh are amazing. That part I'm finding a hard time finding because they're super expensive. Okay, so we need 3 green, or jade, or turquoise. My wife and I have discussions, well, we don't anymore, about the color. So I would call this like a green turquoise color. And yeah, she calls a lot of blues green. And I know there's like a lot of controversy about the colors. People think it's how your brain perceives it and stuff. I think it's simpler than that. I think when you're a kid and you're taught your colors, that the shades in between the greens and the blues depends how you were taught. Were you taught, that it was green or blue? So, oh, this is gonna look nice. It'll actually look cool with the interspersed. So thank you, Neely. This is his design for sure, where he takes memory wire, puts the beads on, and then feeds it through the mesh. So I think I want to kind of just leave just enough for the gap. So maybe let's try 3 of these guys. See how that looks. And one of the things too, I was using the silver, and the silver, it's memory wire, but when I was pushing it through the mesh, it was getting all bent, and I've never had memory wire. Like I've seen it get a little wider as you add beads. But so there, I think that's perfect. That's enough space for your loops and your clasp. Okay. So now I'm going to put one of those stoppers on the other side. We might just use this side to get through. I would put a little, like I want to keep it out here so this doesn't get hooked, but I'll tell you, one of these at the end got lost inside so, and I'm going to move this forward, because I'll tell you why. When you go to weave it into the mesh, you're not going to get it over the beads, because the beads are just going to slide down. So there, a little bit more there. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to look at my mesh here. There might be a side that's better. Actually, this side looks pretty good, so let's try that. So, and he mentioned about twisting it like that as well. This one's going on better. For now, anyway. Here, let me see if I coil it, if that makes a difference on how easy it goes on. Because I'm shocked. The other one, and I was using damaged mesh, so the other one took a lot to get it on. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to show this in a video. Sitting here for half an hour trying to get this stuff on. Let's see. Yeah, this is a lot simpler. So this has these like blue flecks in it, and it really picks up on these beads. Almost there. So you can kind of push it in this way too. It's getting mashed down in that spot. Well, one of the things I did too, if you run into a problem, just go ahead and cut the amount that's not covered and a little bit more for each end, and it'll go on a little easier than trying to drag the whole mesh over it. So we are almost there, and see if we can get that on there. Actually, if I can hold this, you can see there's a gap here. I should be able to push this in. I think I can cut this now, and it should go over quicker. Okay. There we go. Oh, that's just the wire that's coming through. I need the beads to, let me see if I can get that on there. There. Okay, that's got it. So now what you want to do is you want to twist this on here. So this cap is, so you're just going to pinch it and twist And once you get it down a bit, I use my chain nose pliers to really get it down there. And you can cut some of this off. Trim it a little bit. There. Let's put that in there. So I'm just kind of opening and squeezing and turning at the same time. There, that one's done. So now, let's get this stopper off on this side. Let's move that wire back down because I want enough there to make a turn. So that's what you need on both sides. So that looks good. Let's pinch that in and twist. No, stay put. Okay, so let's leave these stoppers on because this is where I made a bit of a boo-boo. I got all my stuff on there, like I did my turns and stuff. What you want to do now is add these guys. So let's see if that's gonna fit. It may not. Ooh, it fits, and let me see if there's space for a jump ring in there. Yeah, there is a little bit of space there. You can see that. There. Okay, so now we got to figure out how many of those we want. Let's try 6. And then we'll decide. There. So I think 6, you would have like 2, 4, and 6. Yeah, I think that should be fine. So that part is good. Let's take a look at what we. So that's basically it for that. So actually, this is going a lot faster. So we need these little beads here, these spacers and those beads. So we have 2 of those beads, and we need the spacers. Where did I put those guys? I just realized I have those in silver too. That'll be great because I'll use that for. I'll do a silver version of this. And let's see where I put those. Just checking to see if they're on my desk. Are they in here? In here. It's not in here. That's weird. They were right here. I looked at this twice and look, they're right in the middle. I was looking in the corner for some reason. I thought, they're in the corner. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so let's put this one on. I don't know if it'll go over that. It won't. So let's take that off. So let's put one of these spacers on and one of these balls like that. And so this, what that does is it covers this piece here. That's really awesome. Just bring it open a bit. There. And then that's ready to go. And so I need to cut this. And I'm just gonna eyeball this. I usually go a little bit bigger, and then if I have to, I can clip it. But I think that's probably gonna do it. And when you're doing your first one, it's not a big deal because you have the other side. So, and again, don't forget to use your memory wire cutters for that. So let's turn this. So I'm just looking, yeah, I do my turns outside and it seemed to work okay. So I think I'll do the same. Yeah, that's way too much. Okay, so I was working with one of these and it broke. I was shocked when I turned it. Perfect. Okay, so let's move everything back down there like that. Okay. So let's take this guy off and put our spacer on and our bead. That. Okay, I think probably to about here. So, yeah, that should do it. Turn this one. This to turn a little nicer. There. I can widen this one, I think. And let's, okay, so there is the beginning of your bracelet. So now we're just going to attach the clasp and the chain. So for the chain, what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to set this down and I'm going to go around to about there. Now I don't want this one bigger than this one. I want it to sit underneath. So I think I'm going to, rather than take it down to this one here, I will take it to the one before. So let's move this down. So about that distance, because we're going to add a jump ring to add it to the clasp. So I think this one here is where I want to open. Find the opening here. Now this chain is super inexpensive. I think it's aluminum with coating on it, so just be careful opening them. They scuff up pretty bad. Grab my ones that are coated here. That. And they're hard to open sometimes. Let me turn this way. Okay. we will close that back up. In the past, I scuffed them up, but I saved them in case I needed them. Okay, so I just scuffed that one. So sometimes I take them off. Some of these tools have teeth on them. The ones I stole from my wife's toolbox, these have teeth, so you have to be careful. But these are proper jewelry tools. Okay, so we don't need those. Now we need our... So these have little jump rings on them, but we're still going to add a jump ring. Yeah, so we need 4 jump rings. Let's use these. These, yeah, I'll use these, I think. I'm just thinking that's not going to fit around that chain, so I need a bigger. And it occurred to me we also have to attach these, so that one might fit. Let me see if I have a nicer one. It's over here. Yeah, there's some nice ones here. These are 7. Okay, so we'll start with those 4 there, and then we need 6 over here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I'm trying to think of what order to do things. And I remember doing this one here and thinking, next time I'm going to do it in the right order. Because this took me probably like 2 hours to do, and it was, the magnets were sticking to my tools, and I was like, oh gosh. My wife's like, are you making a video? I said, no, I never want to make another video again. I'm losing it. Let's put that there. And the whole time I was using the magnetic clasp, I'm thinking, never again. Every time I make a bracelet, I say that. Like, when it's a multi-strand and there's no and there's chain, I'm like, ah. Okay, so now we've attached our chain. I might put the clasp on last. So let me double check. So I think it might be, actually, I was going to say it might be a bit too long, but you know what? Once we loop it onto these guys, it should be fine. And you could just do it like this without the, but I think part of the reason why I had these closed jump rings on there was to hold the chain from getting attached at the end. So clearly we don't need it now. Okay, let's take a look at what we have. So you have to figure out, and this is one of the other things I thought of. So here's what I found was happening. See, this one's going on top of this. So remember to get your stuff in the right orientation, because you'll end up with a bracelet with one of these going up and one going down, and that's what I was running into. So let's just hold it that way and find the midpoint, and then maybe go, so there's 3, go to these 2 outer ones for the first 2 jump rings. And then wherever you hook your chain links to, if you want it to sit below the bracelet, then you got to make sure you grab it from below. Okay, I'm just trying to separate these guys. So let's go for the first of the 3 on this side. So that went in pretty good. There. No, that's not closed. Okay, let's close that up better than that. There. Okay. So I had that too. Okay, I've got that. We've got to go to this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th one here. That was the other thing, counting and then picking up my stuff, and then like, okay, which link was it? Oh, it's one of those days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. This doesn't look right. Okay. There. This one's snug on this side. I think at some point it's not going to matter because you're just going to move them around where you need them anyway. So that one goes that way. And this one goes this way. Let's just get another one and get it in there. That's a closed jump ring. That's weird. Oh, I guess it's... Okay. I think what I want to do is get this first one here. Let me move this up. Get this first one at the ends organized here. Let's try 4. There. And let's do 4 from this side. We went to the we were slightly bored, so we went to the Value Village, which is the thrift shop here, and it's Seniors Day, so it was packed. And you know, people are over their fear of catching COVID, so most people still were wearing masks. There was a few that weren't, but everybody's like, you know what I found when we started going out after the isolation was lifted is I found that people had forgotten their manners, me included. So it was really you could see that today. People were like blocking their carts, like having their carts block the aisle, and then You're trying to get by them. Oh, two people, they blocked the aisle and then they were on the phone. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, so one of these has to go. Let's try that. Yeah, let's just put that there. That's not the right one. So this is starting to look really nice. There, and then through your jump ring. This is very neat. I never would have, initially when I saw the mesh, I didn't quite get it, but I used it and I liked what I was able to make with it. So how many did I go on that one? So we did 4 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's do 6 on this one. So we've got, there's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See if we can get that there. So the kids will be out of school soon. We really see it now, the kids walking up and down our street because the school is at the top of the hill, which is at the end of our street. So there's, let's see what that looks like on. Oh, this looks awesome. This looks awesome. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to sit with the bracelet. So that is lovely. So let's put the clasp on. So I actually, because we hooked it here, we really didn't need a double. Okay. There's one. Oh, there's the other. Okay. Yeah, this one's not the right jump ring. I can tell it's really thin. So let's get a thicker one. I don't know. I'm going to hook it into this one here, so I don't need one of these big ones. Let's go for this one. These are all gold plated that I got from Beading. I hate to use them up, but then I also hate to be such a hoarder. My wife keeps calling me a hoarder. No, it's a connoisseur. I wonder if I put it through both loops here, like this. Like that. Yeah, let's do that. I'm a bead connoisseur. What does she know? I went to the mailbox. She asked me if I was going to say hello to Jeff. I'm like, no, Jeff delivers it to my door. There. And this one. Let's make sure this is flipped the right way. Like that. And then go through both of these jump rings. This one looks like it's spread wider apart. Here, it's in the wrong way. There we go. Okay, and then let's get this that way. There. Ta-da. So there's your clasp and the bracelet. Let's put that on there. Let's see how hard this is to attach. Surprisingly, with the magnetic clasp with the heart, I had a hard time getting it in. So if you're using magnets, you might as well stick with the regular magnets. There. One more try and then we're done. Because this isn't fun for you guys. Okay, we're done. We're done. Ta-da! So let's snap this together. And you could leave this and not put a clasp and just put some charms. That's a definite possibility. I find I have super tiny wrists, and these are the smallest memory wire you can get, and I find it just slides right off my wrist. So there we go. Let me get some of this out of the way. And that turned out lovely. So thank you for joining me. This actually was under an hour. I'm shocked because it definitely took a lot longer to do this one. There's that one and that one. Ta-da! Yeah, this one looks a little daintier, but you know what? This is really nice. This turned out nice. Let's see if I can show you from this angle what it would look like. So that's what it would look like. That is lovely. Oh, that's so pretty. Take care, everybody. See you in the next video. Bye.